He wasn't just a closer. He was a fighter, a brother, and a champion. In the world of baseball, some players become legends not just for their stats, but for their heart. Bobby Jenks, the former powerhouse closer for the Chicago White Sox, was one of those rare figures. Known for his intimidating fastball, fearless demeanor, and role in the White Sox's 2005 World Series championship, Jenks is being fondly remembered today by former teammates and coaches who saw him not just as a player, but as a person. When the news broke of Bobby Jenks facing health complications and ongoing personal challenges, messages of love and respect poured in from the baseball community, especially from those who shared a dugout with him. Paul Konerko, longtime White Sox captain, shared heartfelt words. Bobby was one of the fiercest competitors I've ever played with, but off the field, he was even more human. He cared deeply about his teammates and always wore his heart on his sleeve. We went to war together in 2005, and I'll never forget the role he played in bringing that title home to Chicago. Konerko's comments reflect what many inside the White Sox clubhouse already knew. Jenks was more than his fastball. He was a loyal friend who fought through pain, loss, and personal demons without asking for sympathy. Ozzie Guillen, Bobby had the guts. No tribute would be complete without the words of Ozzie Guillen, the outspoken and beloved manager who led the 2005 squad to glory. Guillen, never one to sugarcoat, offered a powerful reflection on his former closer. Bobby had the guts. He wasn't afraid of any hitter. He wanted the ball in the biggest moments. That's what made him special. But what people forget is how much he sacrificed to play at that level. His body hurt. His back was bad. But he never complained. He just showed up and shut the door. Guillen and Jenks had a unique relationship, built on mutual respect and fire. Their interactions were passionate, but always grounded in their shared love for the game and for winning. The 2005 Magic and Jenks' role. Bobby Jenks' rise to prominence in 2005 was nothing short of cinematic. Claimed off waivers from the Angels in 2004, Jenks entered the White Sox bullpen with a cannon for an arm and ice in his veins. By October 2005, he was closing out games on baseball's biggest stage. In Game 4 of the World Series against the Houston Astros, Jenks sealed the championship, the White Sox's first title since 1917. That moment remains etched in the memory of fans and players alike. Former pitcher Mark Burrell, another vital member of that team, posted on social media, "I knew if I could get through 6 or 7, Bobby would take care of the rest. We trusted him with the biggest outs of our careers, and he delivered every time." Struggles off the field. Despite his success, Jenks' career was cut short due to serious back issues. Later, he would open up about complications from spinal surgery and the emotional toll of retirement. He battled addiction and depression, openly speaking about his journey in an effort to help others going through similar challenges. Former White Sox trainer Herman Schneider said, "He was in real pain for years, but you never saw him make excuses. That's a different kind of strength, one not measured in strikeouts or saves." Today, Bobby Jenks is being honored not just for his baseball accolades, but for the indomitable spirit he carried through every stage of his life. To fans, he'll forever be remembered as the flame-throwing right-hander wearing No. 45. An intimidating closer who could silence a roaring crowd with a single pitch. But to his teammates, coaches, and those closest to him, Bobby Jenks was far more than the stats on a scoreboard. He was a warrior, someone who faced adversity on and off the field with uncommon grit, and who uplifted others even while silently battling his own pain. From his iconic entrance onto the mound during the 2005 postseason to the quieter moments behind the scenes, Jenks left an imprint that few in the sport ever achieve. And as tributes pour in from around the league, one thing becomes clear: his legacy is one of resilience, redemption, and remarkable heart. In an official statement, the Chicago White Sox organization reflected this sentiment. Bobby Jenks will always hold a special place in the hearts of White Sox fans. His journey, from waivers to World Series hero, is one of the most remarkable in our history. We honor him not just as a player, but as a fighter. That journey, raw, imperfect, and inspiring, has come to symbolize more than just baseball greatness. It speaks to the power of perseverance in the face of pain and to the depth of character often hidden behind the uniform. From waivers to world champion, Jenks' road to stardom wasn't paved with privilege or ease. After being waived by the Los Angeles Angels in 2004 due to concerns about his conditioning and maturity, he was picked up by the White Sox, an unpolished talent with a rocket arm and a chip on his shoulder. But under the tutelage of manager Ozzie Guillen and pitching coach Don Cooper, Jenks blossomed. He not only refined his control but channeled his intensity into becoming one of the most feared closers in baseball. In 2005, he played a critical role in Chicago's historic playoff run, recording saves in the ALCS and locking down the final outs of the World Series, ending an 88-year championship drought. Former teammate Jermaine Dye put it succinctly in a recent interview. "Without Bobby, we don't win at all. He brought the fire when we needed it most. Courage beyond the mound." But what makes Bobby Jenks truly remarkable is not just what he did in front of millions, but how he fought battles when no one was watching. After his playing career was derailed by chronic back injuries, Jenks underwent spinal surgery in 2011, a procedure that went tragically wrong. The botched surgery led to a major infection, long-term health complications, and immense physical pain. It also contributed to his struggles with opioid addiction, depression, and a long road to recovery. Instead of retreating from the spotlight, Jenks chose to speak out. He opened up about his addiction, his injuries, and the toll the game had taken on his body and mind. His vulnerability became a beacon for others dealing with similar issues, both inside and outside the world of sports. In a candid interview with ESPN, Jenks once said, "I used to think my toughest fights were on the mound, but the real battles came afterward, when the lights were off, and I had to figure out who I was without baseball." That honesty, that courage to confront his own demons, earned Jenks admiration far beyond the diamond. He became an advocate for mental health awareness, safe pain management, and the often overlooked emotional toll of professional sports. A teammate until the end. Those who knew Jenks best consistently mentioned his loyalty, humility, and support for others. Whether it was mentoring a young reliever, offering a quiet word of encouragement to a struggling teammate, or showing up to fan events despite being in pain, he never stopped giving of himself. A.J. Pierzynski, White Sox catcher and longtime teammate, shared in his tribute. "People saw Bobby as this big, intimidating guy on the mound. But off the field, he was kind. He listened. He helped guys through tough times, even when he was going through hell himself. That's the Bobby I'll always remember." Even after retirement, Jenks remained close to the baseball community, working with youth teams, speaking at clinics, and reminding the next generation of players that greatness isn't about being perfect. It's about being persistent, a legacy written in grit. In many ways, Bobby Jenks symbolizes the American underdog story, overlooked, doubted, cast aside. And yet, he rose, and when life knocked him down, he got up again and again. His story isn't just one of championship rings and high-pressure saves. It's a story of redemption, of facing addiction, injury, and despair, and choosing to live honestly, love deeply, and lead by example. As tributes continue, fans and fellow athletes alike are echoing one truth. Bobby Jenks may no longer be on the mound, but he's left behind something far more enduring than a career ERA or save count. He's left behind a legacy of courage, humanity, and hard-earned hope. Final farewell, everlasting impact. It's often said that the truest measure of a person is how they're remembered when they're no longer in the spotlight. For Bobby Jenks, the memories shared by teammates, Managers, friends, and fans paint a portrait not just of a great baseball player, but of a great man. He reminded us that heroes don't always wear capes. They sometimes wear cleats, win championships, fall, and rise again. That's the Bobby Jenks story. And it's a legacy that will transcend generations. Tributes continue to flow from across Major League Baseball, each one painting a portrait of a man who was as complex as he was courageous. Bobby Jenks may not be on the mound anymore, but the impact he left on his teammates, coaches, and fans continues to echo through the walls of Guaranteed Rate Field. As Ozzie Guillen said best, "You don't forget a guy like Bobby. You don't want to."